To some people, invisibility would be a dream superpower. They fantasize about all the things they could do without being noticed. Not exactly heroic things, but when you look closer, it's not as cool as it sounds. Here's the problem. For you to see...
Isn't it like for when you need to see eye reflex off of your eyeballs, and if you're invisible, the light would not bounce off the eyeball, which would make you completely blind, right? Let's see if I'm right.
Light has to hit the back of your eyes. But if you're invisible, light would just pass through you, leaving you blind. And if somehow your eyes could catch light, they would still be visible, making you a pair of floating eyeballs. Just creepy. To go fully invisible, you need to be completely naked. Not that some of you would mind that, but you wouldn't be able to carry anything either, and since no one can see you, they would crash into you all the time.
Yeah, that's another downside. Like, if no one sees you, you're not like, you can't just get them to pass through you. They're gonna crash into you. Alright, let's keep going.
You better not use perfume or even make noise breathing. People would still know you are there. Plus, if you're thinking that you could rob a bank, a thermal camera would still spot your heat radiation, making it nearly impossible to sneak in undetected. Intangibility. Picture this.
That would suck. Okay, so who would actually want intangibility? You're going to fall through the earth as soon as you turn it on. So, like, okay, say you did something like tried to break into a bank. If you jumped, then turned it on, and you went through the wall, how would you know if your legs were through? Because then, if your face goes through and your legs are still in the wall, then you're just stuck there if you turn it back on. And whenever you fall through the Earth's magnetic fields, I'm an idiot. If you could feel anything, you'd be burning and basically in infinite pain. Because with gravity centered at the core of the Earth, then that would just make you stuck there until you decide to turn it on and just suffocate and die. That'd be a trash ability.
Decide to phase your hand through a wall, but the moment you activate your powers, you drop straight through the floor, sinking into the earth. You either deactivate your powers and become fused into rock, suffocating to death, or continue sinking until you reach the molten center of the earth due to gravity, unable to do anything, waiting until you decide to die. Super speed. A moderate super speed of about 190 miles per hour, like Dash's, wouldn't be so bad. The problems would be minimal. But if we're talking about speed similar to the Flash,
then you couldn't see because your eyes have to process everything. You'd be blind, and the friction burns would basically kill you and set you on fire.
Without Speed Force, then it would be a disaster waiting to happen. You would have to generate an enormous amount of force, far greater than what the human body can handle, and it would cause your legs to simply rip off your body.
I didn't think of that. Okay.
Air is an engine. It's filled with elements like oxygen and nitrogen, plus tons of tiny dust particles. As you move through air, you're rubbing against these particles, generating friction that produces heat.
And then you would just burn.
Moving at super speed would generate enough heat to burn your entire body.
Yep.
Let's say you don't burn. You still need to see where you're going. Human perception isn't adapted to handle high speeds, so moving at super speed would make everything blurry. The speed at which you think would need to match your physical speed. Otherwise, you would just crash into things. Possibly doing what A-Train did, just running through people. And in the case that your perception does keep up, the world around you would seem so slow that you'd basically be stuck in time. Having super speed would also mean burning millions of calories every day, so you'd go broke, buying all the food needed to keep your metabolism satisfied.
Yeah, that too. These are all good points.
As you might know, the Earth is in constant motion through...
Wouldn't that have to make you stop rotating with the Earth? And if you teleport there? you would just fly off because of the speed the Earth is rotating?
Space, moving at around 67,000 miles per hour. It rotates, orbits the sun, and the solar system orbits around the center of the galaxy. If you wanted to teleport, you would need to calculate the exact position of the Earth through space, or else you would teleport into space, dying instantly.
Oh, wow.
Immortality. If you were given the choice between dying in 1 year or becoming immortal, what would you...
Alright, chat. I would die in a year, because hear me out. Being immortal is trash. You would have to watch everyone you love die over and over again until you're just numb. You have no emotions. And then at some point, you could watch the sun explode. Yeah, that'd be a little cool. But then you'd be suffocating in endless pain through space, which would be trash. But there's something. If I could, so if I become immortal, there has to be some catches to it. I would probably, if I could end my own life or die of old age, just nothing that would hurt me, then I would probably become immortal. But if you're just immortal forever, never gonna die, that would suck.
choose? The choice seems obvious, doesn't it? You're thinking that being immortal would be much better than dying in a year, right?
Alright,
But
give
if
me a
you're
second,
immortal,
chat. Alright, I'm back.
you would have to watch everyone you love die over and over again until you don't have any emotional feelings anymore. You would live to see the human race die out. You would see the world end, and ultimately, you would be drifting in space all alone for eternity. Time stop. Oh, time stop. The superpower desired by many. Time stop would be a dream come true for some individuals for obvious reasons, but in reality, it would be a nightmare.
If you freeze time, wouldn't you just freeze yourself? And, wouldn't you also, just die? Because if you pause time, then you pause the oxygen molecules around yourself. And then you would suffocate and die, right? Am I wrong?
The moment you stop time, the molecules of air around you would stop as well, making it impossible to breathe. It also means photons would stop, rendering you unable to see.
Oh, yeah,
So you
that's it.
stop time and become unable to breathe or see until you either resume time or just die. Great power, huh? Super strength. Super strength sounds awesome, right? In real life, though, it's a mess. Everything's designed for regular people, meaning that if you were super strong, you'd be breaking doorknobs, keyboards, and glasses left and right. Imagine going to hug your mom and breaking her spine because you don't know how to control your strength yet.
Yeah, but, you see people that are insanely strong don't just rip out door handles. They go a little bit, softer and pull soft. If I have super strength, I'm not gonna to a door. And I'm gonna make a point right here. The human body is only supposed to handle what it is made for. Say you had strength above of all human limits. That would mean as soon as you pick up a car, it would crush you because your bones and muscles are not used to this. You would have to grow muscle, get used to it over time.
Having super strength doesn't mean you're indestructible either. If you punch a wall, for example, because of Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The force that you applied to the wall would be applied back to you with the same intensity, knocking you back and breaking your hand.
Good point. Yeah. Alright, well, that was why superpowers would suck in real life with a little bit of commentary from me by whatever, really. I'm gonna leave his channel description in the link, or the channel link in the description, And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.